Thank you, good job. Thank you.
Oh.
Down in here properly.
Oh. Oh.
Pay no mind to the messy house behind me. We are staying inside. It's crazy windy today and it's almost the new year while I'm filming this. When you see this, it will be the new year. This week, we're gonna share with you guys a little bit of our plans for 2026. It's gonna be a little out with the old, in with the new. The list of what we are not planning on doing in 2026 is actually probably shorter than the list of what we're hoping to get done in 2026. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about our plans. While I sew up a new skirt for myself, I've been wearing the same skirt I sewed a few months ago over and over. So we're gonna make a new one while I tell you about our plans. And in a couple days, we're gonna get outside and do some measuring and do some serious planning, get a few things on paper so that we actually know what we need to do to prep for the new year. If you've been following for a while now, you know that we are just kind of crazy busy people. And we kind of plan on that remaining the same in 2026. I have messed this up more times than I can count now. This is actually a bed sheet. So we never use like the top sheet because we just don't, because we're like that. And it makes really good sewing material. Let's try this again. This is the third time. The third time I've messed this cut up. We bought this property in 2023. We've lived on this property and started building the homestead in 2024, which makes 2026 our second year. We moved here May of 2024. If you've been following that long, huge shout out to you. A lot has changed since then. Well, we have to turn left here eventually.
So that's what I'm thinking. So left of that broke off birch.
Okay.
Same, you can almost see like a path.
No, they're sharp. They'll poke ya. The big build for next year is going to be the bathhouse, bath cabin, guest cabin, whatever you want to call it. We are going to be doing a combination of a guest cabin and a bathhouse, basically. It is New Year's Eve, so Happy New Year today.
Look at that.
You'll see this after New Year, but Happy New Year. So we're planning our 2026 on New Year's Eve.
Major projects.
I didn't realize it was New Year's Eve until like an hour ago. So we're pretty serious partiers, if you can't tell.
Festive.
We rock on.
till the break of dawn. Project is the bathhouse. We're gonna eyeball that and go, okay, this is where it's gonna go. These are the trees that need to go. All this stuff has been kind of sitting at the kitchen table, coming up with a plan, and
Drink
it's
that
time
morning
to,
coffee, like, yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do
Yeah.
that.
yeah, go get him. Give him a bear hug.
Are the chickens just babysitting him or what?
Yep. He's outside.
Huh?
He's not in there.
Now this is a big fat question mark.
Yeah.
Where to put it?
Basically, anywhere between the Connex and the outhouse.
Right. We want to leave this nice spruce. I know that much.
Yeah, that I'm thinking pretty much every other tree over here is going to go.
I know, it's going to be a lot.
I know. Some of those ones kind of on the backside, they're leaning away.
Yeah. Yeah. Leaning downhill there. It's like, what is that? What's wrong, buddy?
You want to come over here with us? I mean, we can orient it however we want, but do we want it to be along the driveway or kind of along the trail here?
I vote along the trail, not too far from the driveway, though.
Like right here.
That's what I'm thinking is, you know, this is maybe off of the corner of it-ish or off the side. Where are the windows going again? We haven't really fully decided. None in the front.
There'll be one little one in the back.
One in the back and one towards
And
the
then
outhouse.
one nice one this way.
Okay, obviously it's mainly a bathhouse, right?
Yeah.
But it's also going to be a guest cabin, and people are going to come with their luggage and stuff. It'd be nice to get the truck relatively close with their stuff to go inside. And when we're hauling water in for it, get the truck relatively close. You know, that's why I think not way over there.
What the heck is that rooster doing?
He's yelling. He's got a lot to say. He's getting better at it, I will say.
He's still not good.
He's still not good, but he has improved.
Jeez.
So I guess we don't need to measure over here.
No, we just
Just kind of need to eyeball.
gotta clear the brush.
Okay, so
take
let's
the trees
just put
down.
it this way. Of it's somewhere in the realm of stump, tree,
Yeah.
you know, somewhere just right here.
Yeah, that'll work.
Well, and honestly, the closer this way a little bit, that's a
less
few
trees.
less trees you have to take.
Yeah,
Because those are big
those
trees.
back ones are kind of going away anyway.
Yeah.
We'll take some of them.
The exciting part about that build is we are going to be doing it out of D logs, which is what we built this cabin out of, but we're going to be sawmilling them ourselves.
So with the sawmill and building this guest cabin bathhouse, we're gonna do D logs, which is the same way this cabin was built. Basically, you have a round log, you mill flat on 3 sides, gives you a D shape, and then they stack nice and easy, fit together well. That's 3 sides you don't have to peel the bark off of. We built this cabin that way, so it should be pretty easy. We already kind of know what we're doing. And it's gonna be much, 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 much smaller than this cabin. We are milling and collecting all of the logs ourselves, so that's my main winter project. Not boring you guys with it, because it's tree after tree after tree, but we got a lot of trees to collect. On this cabin, we purchased these logs from a sawmill. They're a little more perfect, you know, they put them through a fancy planer that gives them a uniform round shape, whereas the ones we're doing is just going to be the natural contour of the log.
Threading my machine went pretty well, which means something's gonna go wrong for sure. So the whole point in the guest cabin bathhouse combo is that someday we do want to have just straight up guest cabin, but for now we don't have the time, the money. We haven't really decided space-wise on where that could go. So it just kind of makes sense to build a dual purpose cabin. Overall, it'll just kind of give guests somewhere to sleep so that they don't have to listen to the children wake up 10 times a night. And when they're not here, you know, just a couple weeks a year, we'll have guests, and then we will be able to do laundry, take showers. We won't have to go to the laundromat anymore. It'll save us a lot of laundromat money, really. And then the garden expansion, I think, is explains itself. We're really excited to expand our garden. Do you want to come help? Come here. You can sit in my lap for a minute. Yeah, a stool would be good.
Oh, no.
Yeah, careful, it's sharp. Thank you. All right, let's get you your own spot here. Oh. Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. I can't believe I would start without you.
Hey.
Hey, you can't have the sharp stuff. Anyway, I think the garden expansion kind of explains itself. We're really excited. It's going to be at least double the size, if not maybe a little bigger.
Stay there. I got an idea. Boom. Okay, what are we doing?
Let me tuck the sleeper away. Stay nice and warm.
Oh my goodness. That looks like good sleeping.
That's what I thought. All right, give me those. Give me those. My hands are cold.
Yeah, it's chilly out here.
Okay.
Okay.
So, what are we doing here? We are measuring the garden to expand the garden next year.
Trying to.
Obviously, it's cold and winter right now.
Yeah, but you gotta do something. You know, I've
gotta
had
do something.
enough sitting inside.
Yes,
It's been
there's just no snow to do anything.
Incredibly windy.
And
Like, all of Alaska knows it's been windy. At least the southern central.
Yes.
It's been bad. But okay, yeah, we're gonna expand the garden is the plan. And that's kind of been a very vague thing in our mind that we're gonna expand the garden. When we expand the garden. So today we're
Been a
gonna
lot of talk.
nail down kind of how big we're gonna go. And it's not gonna be, we're not like staking it and dry lining. We need new posts. We need to know which trees we need to take down. So we're just actually gonna kind of put our hands on it and see what we're doing.
Do you want to come out and help us hold the measuring tape? He's like, if it's not deep snow, it's icy.
Do you want, here, I'll let you guys hold this end.
Okay.
I was gonna give you this.
Oh. No, yeah, you go. I don't
Okay.
know how far realistically we can go.
Okay, well, I think let's go just like hold this at 1 foot on this. Because we don't want to expand much into that. Right?
Okay. Yeah, that was up to you.
I don't think so. It's nice to be able to park your gorilla carts there, and we want a little buffer.
Okay.
So, but we're gonna
So a foot
be
off.
putting posts in while these posts are still here.
Are
So
you sure a foot off? I mean,
yeah,
okay.
that's fine. It doesn't have to be exact.
No, I know. I want a really good idea.
Yep. All right, let's see.
Feeling his oats till we get out here in the cold.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Oh, gosh. Look out.
What are we at there?
41.
And you could keep going, couldn't you?
Yeah, but I think in the effort of staying out of the roots of those nice spruce,
Okay.
you're 1 foot past there.
Yeah.
Why don't we just do 40?
Yeah. We'll just plan 40 and
Yeah,
Like
it'll
we've
just
said,
end
this
up kind of
isn't-
what it is. But we'll say 40.
okay. I hate to say it. I think that spruce has just got to go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll take that spruce and probably that smaller birch there that's broken.
Yeah, that's fine.
This gets kind of snaggly-daggly. Landmark for clearing. Let's just go to that stump.
Okay, that works.
That'll
Yeah, yeah.
give us a good buffer. I don't want to reel this all the way in.
Okay, so you want to just adjust?
Yeah. Let's just take your end and just walk with it.
Okay. I don't think it's long enough. Is this the 100-footer?
Yeah. Okay, so hold us 1 foot past again.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so that's 40 again.
40 by 40? Spoiled.
Yeah, I
That's-
think.
Are you're sure?
Yeah.
Spoiled. That's awesome. I could deal with that.
All right, so let's
That feels like an acre.
do 40.
There's a piece of bark behind you could grab.
Yeah, that'll work. Okay, let's measure that again this way. So, right there is 40.
40 by 40. Sounds so awesome. And that's plenty of space to still walk between the garden and the chicken coop, right?
Yeah. Maybe
We'll
we bump it
relocate
in just a touch.
Well, yeah, whatever. 6 feet.
Because I don't want, that's going to shed big chunks of ice and snow, and we don't want it to tear up the fence. So,
Well, maybe we go 40 by 38.
yeah.
That just gives the planning ability now.
Yep. And it is kind of chilly out here, huh? Those silly chickens. They're just goofs. Goofy chickens, huh?
So there are 2 spruce trees that we're going to be trying to relocate. Now that we have the tractor, I think we can get enough of the roots to make it happen. We tried this when we first bought the property to relocate some that were in our driveway area. We have a hard time just taking these down. We live in a really heavy beetle kill area where probably a good 70% of the spruce trees have been killed by beetles. So these really nice little guys, we really want to let them keep going and catch up with all of the dead stuff. That when we're from Colorado, we really like our pine trees. It was a shift to move into a birch forest out of our pine tree, ponderosa pine forest up there. So we'll try to relocate these guys in May probably with the tractor so that we can expand the garden without them being in the way and I guess you could leave them if you wanted to, but that kind of kills the point of having a big open tillable space.
So now that we've got the tractor, we're planning on moving the compost pile quite a ways away actually, and upsizing it where it'll be more of a stirring it with the tractor. We can look more to get some manure, see if we can source that locally anywhere,
Yeah, I want to
and
get
kind of majorly upsize our compost operation.
I want to get brewer's grains. I want to use sawdust from the sawmill. We're going to do some major composting over the next few years. Probably not a ton next year. This is all going to take time, but this little piddly pile that I had to move by hand is gone.
And with all of these garden expansions, our goal is to work on this over the summer. This new area, we're not planning on it being plantable until the following spring. Just with, the amount of stuff.
Yeah, we can't get it all done by Memorial Day, which is when I plant.
So. By the time we can actually start working the ground to get these root balls out and stuff, it's pretty much
Got to get
time that you need to be planting. So
yeah, our season is so short. You don't want to plant any sooner than Memorial Day for risk of frost. And I know a lot of people that don't plant until like that first weekend in June even. We will plant this garden this year, and next year we will plant the big garden that's going to be built up around this garden basically.
we were already going to take these couple of trees down to help with the sunlight in the afternoons on the garden. And then, well, if we're already taking them down, that opens up this space. We'll just expand the garden. It's going to give us more growing room, but we're just going to kind of spread everything out so that we have more room, to get a wheelbarrow or a gorilla cart down the rows, and
Yes.
just not quite so cramped.
Yes, it was very like tiptoeing through, which made harvesting really hard. It made watering really hard. The moose fence is kind of hilarious that we're gonna be pulling this out before we ever even finished it, but we are. So the moose fence, we're gonna be sawmilling for that, which is gonna make it actually happen faster.
Yeah, that's what all these logs are. Not all of them, but the ones you see here close to the garden.
Yeah, I'm probably annoying. Those are
going to be our new post. Instead of peeling, we'll just mill them much, much faster.
Yes, because if you watch that first summer, I peeled all of these and it took me forever. Overall, I'm feeling pretty spoiled that we are going to be doing a 40 by 40 garden. Right now it's like 20 by 24-ish. So it's basically doubling in size. And like Levi said, one of us said, is we're not going to be planting it until 2027. 2026 is still going to be the 20 by 24. But I learned a lot last year in the garden. So this year I really think we can do even better. I only think about a third of the garden actually produced food last year because there was a lot of experimenting going on. So this year I'm really hoping to push that number much more to 2/3, 3/4, something like that. A big shout out to Levi. All of this garden expansion was his idea. We've been working on this guest cabin bathhouse idea for quite a while, so it's good to kind of get an image of this is where it's going to go. These are the trees we need to cut. Overall, we're really excited to go into 2026 with all of this. It's going to be a great time. We still have a lot to do. But, you know, as long as winter is not really going to show up, we have like no snow for snow machining and trapping and stuff. We might as well be doing this stuff. So,
Oh,
oh my gosh, I'm doing this wrong. All right, so there you have it. Those are kind of our just there plans about 2026, the big two being the garden and the guest cabin / bathhouse. As we said, we obviously have a lot of other smaller things we want to get done. We want to hopefully try and finally finish up the Sandpoint well. We are going to do another temporary greenhouse, I should say, next year. We decided we don't have the time to build the great big fancy greenhouse that we really want. So we are again going to just build kind of a log structure off of the current moose fence on the garden and plastic it off. We've got some plans to make it even a little better this year, but it's just something, that final product is just getting pushed off again. We can only do so much in a year, even with a tractor. So it is finally in this moment starting to snow up here. We have been waiting like a couple months now for snow. It's been an incredibly dry year for at least our part of Alaska. It's been very cold so far this year, so that's probably part of it. But we're getting some snow, so hopefully our next video you guys will get to see maybe a little bit of trap line. Levi has been not able to really get to most of where we want to trap. The snow conditions have just been so dismal for the snow machine. I mean, he's been snow machining on like 4 inches of ice. It's not even really snow at this point. So fresh snow is coming. That's very exciting. So hopefully we'll be getting outside soon to trap and heck, make a snowman. I don't even care. I'm just ready for like real winter to show up. So far it's just been cold winter. I'm gonna get this skirt finished up here soon. I'm just kind of going to put in some pockets and stuff. But the thing is I don't have any elastic, and the hardware store that's nearby also didn't have any elastic. So I won't be finishing that up today, but we'll get a little work done on it nonetheless. Until then, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Subscribing makes YouTube think that people actually like us. So it really helps our channel, and we appreciate each and every one of you. We'll see you guys next Saturday. Hope you're staying warm where you're at.